So I know you can see and hear me. So here's the big question. How are entrepreneurs like us, who have been hustling and struggling to make it to success, who seem to make it one step forward only to fall 2 steps back, who are dedicated, determined, and driven, how do we finally break through and win? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Brian Kelly, and this is the Mind, Body, Business Show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mind, Body, Business Show. We have another amazing guest expert who is coming on very, very soon. I cannot wait to share her with you because she is brilliant and she is going to bring the value. You do not want to miss this show. Stay on until the end. There's multiple reasons to do that. I'll tell you that in just a moment. The Mind, Body, Business Show. It is a show for entrepreneurs by entrepreneurs. And what I found in my now 56 years on this planet, well, the last 10 or so, I literally started studying just successful people. And I wanted to find out what it was about them that made them more successful than maybe me. And what I found over that time were 3 patterns continually developed and bubbled to the top. And you might be able to guess what those 3 patterns are. Yes, they're on either side of me. It is the name of this very show, the Mind, Body, Business Show. It's about mind, and every person that I studied that was supremely successful had mastered the skill sets of increasing and having an incredibly powerful and flexible mindset. And body. They literally took care of their body nutritionally, and they exercised on a regular basis. And then business. Business is so multifaceted. They mastered skill sets in so many different areas. There's marketing, there's sales, team building, systematizing, leadership. I could go on and on and on. And they did this because they knew that they had to master all these skill sets in order to have a thriving business, to build one and then to help it to grow. And the good news is that none of us have to master all of those that I just mentioned, all of those skill sets being in the business realm. And all you really need to do is master one of them. And one of them is, well, I mentioned it. It was in that list that I just talked about. And that skill set is the one of leadership. Once you have mastered leadership, the skill of being a great leader or a good leader, I'd say great leader. Yeah. And once you've done that, now you can bring in those who have the skill sets you have yet to master and delegate those tasks to them. Because here's the thing, to master any skill set takes quite some time, doesn't it? And I don't know if any single human being can master every skill set that goes into needing to be mastered for a successful and thriving business. So that's the good news. So concentrate on leadership and you will get farther faster. And so the Mind, Body, Business Show, that is what we're here for, to help you, to give you the value, to give you actual actionable steps. So take notes, take out that notepad and paper, and you'll want to definitely pay attention. And speaking of paper, another wonderful attribute of the highly successful people that I met and studied is that they are all, to a person, voracious readers of books. And with that, I like to segue into a little segment I affectionately call bookmarks.
Bookmarks. Born to read. Bookmarks. Ready, steady, read. Bookmarks. Brought to you by reachyourpeaklibrary.com.
Yes, there you see reachyourpeaklibrary.com. And real quick note for everyone watching and also for those of you listening on the podcast as a recording is take out a piece of paper and a pen and take notes, as I mentioned just a moment ago, because you're going to be learning about resources. And I'm going to venture to guess quite a few, especially with Karen Duncum, who's coming on very, very soon. She's going to be giving us so many wonderful things that we can go out and actually take action on and improve our lives and our business. So I would love for you to take notes, and I would hate for you to miss a single nugget that Karen is about to drop because you are clicking and watching other websites, looking at other resources. Just stay with us and write notes. Take down the resources like reachyourpeaklibrary.com, write it down, and then visit it after the show because the magic happens in the room. All right, off my soapbox, enough about that. Reach Your Peak Library. That is a website that I had developed, and I'm not kidding when I say this, with you in mind. And the reason is because I did not read very much, if any, at all, until I was about 46, 47 years old. And then I learned the sheer magnitude and power of reading, not just any book, but the right books. And I began consuming books voraciously. And this is a list of every book, not every book I've ever read, but every book that's had profound impact on me, either in my business life or personal life, or both. And so I decided to put this together for those that might be looking for that next great read. That way you can at least know that the book has been vetted by at least one other successful person, and the odds of you just throwing darts at a random dartboard looking for that next book are greatly diminished, and you'll find some really, really great reads in here. So take advantage of this. It's a free resource. You just click the button. I think it takes you to Amazon, and you can make your purchase of your book there and get reading. Whatever form you like. If it's Audible, I love Audible. I love listening to books. I found that was my mode of ingesting information. They have Kindle, hard copy. It's Amazon. They've got it all. So go ahead and enjoy that resource. I hope you find as much value out of those books as I have. And speaking of value, I'm done introing. It's time to bring on the one and only Karen Duncum. Are you ready? Let's bring her on. She's coming.
It's time for the Guest Expert Spotlight. Savvy, skillful, professional, adept, trained, big league, qualified.
And there she is, ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Karen Duncum.
Hello, everyone.
It is so amazing to have you on the show. You went through a little scare, and now you're here. I'm so just grateful that you have come back completely to all of us so you can share more of your brilliance and your value, your insight, your experience, everything about you. I can't wait. This is going to be so much fun.
You're very kind. Thank you, Brian.
Oh, absolutely. Before we jump right in, a little bit of housekeeping is in order. So all of you watching live, this is actually really great stuff. If you're watching live right now, stay with us to the end, because at the end of the show, I'm going to show you how you can win a 5-night stay at a 5-star luxury resort. And this is all compliments of thebiginsidersecrets.com. You see the big red logo up there right above Karen's shoulder. And that is a wonderful friend of mine who owns that company. His name is Jason Nast. And they allow us to give away a free vacation stay every single show. It's phenomenal. He himself has been on 3 of them to basically test it, to ensure it was legit. And I'll tell you, he came back raving about it, said, you don't get whisked away into a timeshare pitch, and you don't lose half of your trip by doing that. It's a legitimate vacation stay. So I can't wait to see who wins that. And then a little birdie told me that this amazing woman right next to me has something for you as well. And we'll get to that near the end of the show too. So stay with us and enjoy the ride. And speaking of the ride, we got a couple more announcements to make here, and we'll get right with it. If you're struggling with putting a live show together and it's overwhelming and you want a lot of the processes done for you while still enabling you to put on a high quality show and connect with great people like Karen and grow your business all at the same time, then head on over to carpetbombmarketing.com. Carpet Bomb Marketing, saturate the marketplace with your message. And one of the key components that is contained in the Carpet Bomb Marketing courses, one that you'll absolutely learn how to master, is the very service we use to stream our live shows right here on the Mind Body Business Show. Now, over the course of, I would say, over 9 years, we have tried many of these quote unquote television studio solutions and software for live streaming. And I'll tell you that StreamYard is the best. of the best. It combines supreme ease of use along with unmatched functionality. So start streaming high quality, professional looking live shows for free with StreamYard right now. Don't do it now, but you can do it very soon, right after the show. And so write that website down that you see on the screen if you're watching the video. If you're listening to the podcast, it is ryp.im/stream live, all together, ryp.im/stream live. Now let's get to the woman of the hour, shall we? Let's get this thing moving, because this show is about her. It's not about me. It's not about all this other stuff. I'm going to now give her the honor and respect that she deserves by formally introducing this amazing young lady, Karen Duncum, former COO of an international marketing and advertising firm, psychotherapist, and Bloomberg Business Week columnist. Oh, and she is a phenomenal writer. I've read some of her posts. Has for decades been executive coach to leaders of Fortune 500 companies, entrepreneurs, and business owners. She is passionate about helping leaders learn what they can do to live vibrantly in all aspects and all seasons of their life. She considers it a privilege to extend her professional coaching work through founding Live Vibrantly. With great passion, Karen created the groundbreaking Live Vibrantly program to teach and coach the 8 vital components. I hope we learn about them all tonight, facilitating wealth in business and in life. Many comment that her coaching works so well because of her authenticity, and I know that one's true, passion, and wisdom, in addition to her inside-out, individual-centered approach. Whew. All right, with that, Karen is on the show at last. Finally, I'm so excited, Karen.
Thank you, Brian.
And are you coming to us? I'm just going to guess. Is it around the Santa Barbara area of California?
Yes, it's actually 43 minutes into the wine country outside of Santa Barbara.
Oh, my goodness.
Uh-huh.
We'll have to talk later. Oh, yes. My wife and I, we love Santa Barbara. We visited there several times. They have that salt cave. We went in there. That was phenomenal. But we also have gone north, ventured farther into that red grape territory. We like the red grape, the wine territory.
Well, come visit me and I'll show you around.
Oh, invitation accepted. Here we go. All right. So, Karen, when I introduce folks, and yours is no exception, your bio is exceptional. It tells everyone about your depth and breadth of experience, of your knowledge, of what makes you tick, who you enjoy serving. And what I like to do is go just a little deeper, if I may. And don't worry, it's not very painful. It's not painful at all. And what I like to do is find out more about what is going on in that beautiful brain of yours that is enabling you to, overcome what you just overcame as one. But most importantly, all this time that you've been so successful, what has kept you going? Every single day you get up, you know there's challenges coming. You know it. That's the life of an entrepreneur. And what is it for you personally? When you get up in the morning, what are the things that are going on inside that beautiful brain of yours that keep you going, motivated, and impacting lives day in and day out?
Well, first of all, I haven't always been this way. And so could I start with a little story?
Please.
So when this actually took form, it was actually 10 or 12 years ago. And it was pretty much the bottom of my life. It was like the thing that brings you to your knees. And let me just say, as I tell you this story, that I'm a firm believer that struggle is what gives us the strength to move forward. I feel very sorry for people who have had it too easy in life, whether it be financially or whatever it is. They just don't have the muscle that struggle can give us. So when I talk about this struggle I'm going to tell you about, I'm not going, oh, poor me, because it helped me tremendously to go through it. So around the 2008 time, when you know what happened with homeowners in America, I lost my home. I had to tell my fiance goodbye, that we had to break our engagement. And I had very, very little income, because 2008 also put the corporate business for outside consultants way down. And so I was sort of at the bottom, and I was feeling sorry for myself. I sort of had victim mentality. And I was driving along one day feeling sad and depressed, actually. And I saw sitting on the curb a young man that obviously was a gardener's helper, sitting on the curb about 4:30 waiting for a ride. And I thought, as I passed him, well, at least I'm not a gardener's helper, and at least I have a car to drive. And all of a sudden I felt better. And I thought, oh, if I would just start thinking about the good of every single situation, I'll feel better. So the motivation was selfish. I wanted to feel better. I didn't want to be sad and depressed. And so I started just doing that. Every time I started feeling bad, I'd think of, okay, what could be good here? What's one good part of this circumstance or situation? And that began the living vibrantly thought pattern. And so then that gave me the opportunity to use my past experiences and my work with clients and companies to put together the things that I knew were the most important to help people be successful in life and in business. I don't think I answered your question, though, did I?
I think it came through pretty loud and clear that, you were given a lemon, or so it seemed, and you made lemonade from it, and you learned from that, and you're using that to catapult your daily life every single day to say, look at the bright side. It could be a lot worse.
And it's not Pollyanna. It's not ignoring the things you need to pay attention to. It's just paying attention to them and going, where's the good here? Let me focus on the good part.
Yeah, like a dear friend of mine and mentor always said is focus on what you want. Things will happen and we're going to react negatively toward them if it's a negative thing. We are human beings. We're not robots. We have emotions, but the key is to get past that emotion as quickly and as healthily as you can and move on to what you really want in life and let your attitude control your circumstances versus the other way around.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And we have some amazing people dropping in. Andy LaRusso, thank you so much. He says, looking forward to this talk, Karen and Brian. Oh, and look who is here. None other than Jason Nast himself. That is the founder of the Big Insider Secrets. And
I saw his show.
You saw his show?
Yeah, on your show. Uh-huh.
Oh, yes. He's one of my best friends in the world. He's actually been in this very studio that I'm coming to you from. We spent quite a few hours here building businesses together. And he was remarking about when I talked about the gift that's coming up that we're giving away, his vacation stay. And he said, best gift ever. That's awesome. And any excuse to go on vacation. That's absolutely true. Oh, I think he knows about the general area you're from. He said SLO.
Oh, no, it's a little bit south of that. It's a little bit warmer than SLO. It's the San Ynez Valley area.
Oh my gosh. That is exactly where I gotta say it. My wife and I, we went on it was like a wine tour. It was a bus, a little one of those. I guess they call them party buses. The little Mercedes ones. Oh, the greatest time. We went.
On a private tour.
Pardon?
Not on a bus.
Say that one more time.
I'll take you on a private tour, not on a bus.
Man. There we go. Yeah, it was a hoot. We just went from winery to winery, and then it was a lot of fun. And even before people started drinking, they were already happy because we knew what we were going to be doing.
And it's beautiful, isn't it?
It's gorgeous. Yes. Yes. It's just a great experience. So, yeah, San Ynez Valley, that's exactly where these wineries were that we were visiting. And we just had a blast. We definitely want to come back.
Okay.
And Jason, very astute man, says obstacles are what you see when you're not focused on your goals. Absolutely. Thank you, Jason. This guy's en route cross country. He's probably stopped for the evening. I hope he's resting well. He's moving, he's uprooting and moving across the country. And I can't wait till he gets settled in to fly out and spend some time with him because he's a brother from another mother. I love this guy. So, Karen, thank you for you just taught a lot of people, whether they knew it or not, a lot of great things. And that was how to take circumstances that would normally floor a lot of people and turn them around just by doing what we call in NLP circles, neuro linguistic programming, reframing, basically saying, well, yeah, that sucked. And look, I have a house, I have a car, I have, just be grateful, have a attitude of gratefulness. And it's amazing. Like you said, you just started feeling better.
Right. It's taking reframing to the next level, because it's really science. It's really, if you are constantly reframing, you are growing new neural pathways. And once you grow new neural pathways, the ones that weren't serving you shrivel up. And so you now go down a new pathway.
I love that. Yeah. And I liken it to having, when you have that negativity going on in your brain, I liken that to having weeds in the garden of your beautiful brain. And what you're talking about is a way to remove those weeds so that the beautiful flowers can flourish even more brightly and not get choked out.
Yeah. And the way you pull the weeds is you plant flowers.
There you go. Choke out the weeds with the flowers. There we go. I love it. So, so you're up in north of me here in Southern California still, I guess. I don't even know if that's southern or
sort of south central.
Okay, that sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
And, I talk about the 3 pillars, mind, body, and business. So we talked a little bit about mind. So if we can touch on body for just a moment, and you've just gone through a physical scare, and you can say as little or as much as you want about that. It's fine either way. But I imagine that to you, that staying in physical shape is somewhat important to keep going forward every single day and keep your energy level up.
I have a story about that too. We have 8 pillars. You have 3 pillars. We have 8 pillars, but they're all in the areas that you're talking about. And so unfortunately, or fortunately, the number one most important of all the 8 pillars is exercise. And the reason I say, unfortunately, I don't like to exercise. I was never an athlete. I didn't want to exercise. But when I discovered what goes on chemically when you do exercise and what goes on chemically when you don't, it just makes me, every day when I wake up, one of the first things I think is, okay, when am I going to exercise today? And which of my activities am I going to do? Because it's so critically, look, you've got the 8 pillars.
We're ready for anything here on the Mind Body Business Show.
You surprised me. You pulled that right off the website, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Perfect.
So I have a story to tell. 2 or 3 months ago, I had been over exercising in one vein. And when you get to be my age, you have to alternate. You can't do the same exercise every day because you're using the same joints, same muscles. Really, everybody should do that. But with COVID, all I could do was stair climb. And so I had a certain set of stairs in Santa Barbara that I would climb. I would do laps on the stairs. And little did I know, you can't do that every day to your body. You just can't do it. And so I didn't know what happened. They thought I was having a stroke. They thought I was having a blood clot, but they had to put me in an ambulance and take me to the ER because my right leg wouldn't work. I couldn't make it work. So the moral of the story is 6 hours of tests trying to figure out what was wrong with me. When they finally discovered all it was an exercise injury. But in the course of that, I had so many tests, every kind of test you can imagine, every blood test, every, X-ray, CT scans, all of that. And so about 5 hours into this, the ER doctor came in. He said, "Do we have your birth date right?" I said, "I don't know. What is it?" Because, of course, I'm kind of loopy then with the medication they've given me. And he told me, and I said, "Yep, that's right." And he looked down at it, and he looked back up at me, and he said, "Well, the reason I ask is I've never treated a woman or even a man your age as healthy as you are. We did all these tests. There's nothing wrong with you, not one thing. Is it true that you don't take any medication at all?" I said, "Yeah, that's true." And he said, "Well, congratulations. Whatever you're doing, you just better keep doing it." The reason I tell you that story is that I have done all 8 pillars of living vibrantly for years and years and years now. And I tell you that because now I have proof, personal proof. It works. So
Yeah, absolutely. There's no other way you can, if you have proof, no one can refute it. And I'm so in alignment with this. I used to be a certified personal trainer, and I totally am in alignment with everything you're saying. And if you stay healthy by, look, exercise, I don't think people understand the incredible and immense benefits that come with regular exercise. And yeah, like you said, Karen, you're not alone. Not many people enjoy it. If everyone enjoyed it, we would all, all the guys would look like bodybuilders and all the ladies would be supermodels, wouldn't we? And that's just not the case. Just like with business, if it were easy, we wouldn't be doing this show. We wouldn't need to. This is about getting exposure for you and your business. That's my mission. And the thing is, if it were easy, then everyone would already be doing it, wouldn't we? And so know that it's kind of a drag to work out. It can be. And there are ways to make it more fun. But you kind of touched on it, Karen, and that was out of kind of necessity, is that if you enter a little bit of those spices of variety in your workout and change it up, then it's not as mundane and boring and painful in the same areas each and every single time. And wow, when you get done, I mean, the endorphins and the feeling and the rush and the energy, yeah, you're a little tired, you're fatigued physically, but mentally, I mean, I do know about most everybody else, you're way alive. I mean, it's like energy drink without the side effects, the bad side effects.
And you're just so glad it's over. You did it. You accomplished it and it's over. You don't have to do it anymore today.
It is so true. I am not going to say any different. You're happy. I just worked out earlier today. And when I was done, I was feeling great. I was happy as heck that it was over because today was the more painful day. And it involved legs. And you talk to any guy, they don't like leg day because legs they're massive muscles, and a lot of muscle is a lot of hurt.
Yeah.
But you know what? You do what you got to do to keep going. I do it before every show. I learned this is a great tip, by the way, Karen. I got this, and you're probably aware of this. One of my previous guests who came on said that anytime he knows he's got quite a bit on his plate that he's got to take care of, he will work out right before actually going through those tasks. And he says he just plows through them now because he has now all the energy, the clarity, the focus, and everything is there because he got his blood pumping, he got the endorphins flowing, he got the muscles and the stress taken care of. Yeah. And it just rights the ship, doesn't it?
When I'm really healthy, I like to exercise before I start working in the morning, and I like to go exercise on my lunch break. Both times. Do a certain thing before and a certain thing at lunch. When everything's working and the gyms are all open and the pools are all open, that's my favorite thing because you feel so good.
Yeah, and that also helps a lot of people where we're isolated now. So it's much easier to make that excuse and miss another workout, isn't it? But when you have a place to go to and possibly some people you're familiar with, even if not, though, there's something about being in a group atmosphere that pulls you there harder and you want to be there. And then when you leave, you feel more accomplished and happier. At least I've seen that, and the clients I had when I was a personal trainer reported that as well. And that didn't make me happy because my whole program was based on doing it in your home without having to do the travel. It was for entrepreneurs, so it would save you time. But it's okay. I got it. I understood it. And so it's just amazing that, accountability, that's the biggest thing when you're trying to exercise. If you don't have anyone else pushing you, my son exercises darn near every single day. He still lives with us. He's an amazing young man, 24 years old, just recently graduated, and he inspires me. He's working out every single day. I can hear the weights clanking downstairs in the living room. That's his gym. And,
if people knew what we teach in the exercise pillar about what is actually happening inside your body when you don't exercise, what's happening when you don't exercise is you're creating faster decay. Because once we're born, we're decaying. And when you exercise, you are creating a chemical. It's for shorthand, it's called C6 and C10. But you create a chemical in your body that repairs, rejuvenates, and makes you younger. I am not kidding you. I have another story, but we'll wait and see if we have time for that.
We have all the time we want because this is my show. We can go as long as we want. As long as you want to stay up, we're going. So I hope everybody's in for a nice ride. We're going to be going another 3 hours. I'm just kidding. But what we're talking about, I want to bring it back up on the screen, are what Karen Duncum calls the 8 pillars of success. And at this moment, we've been kind of concentrating on the exercise pillar right here. You see on the screen. I don't know if my mouse is visible, but if it's not, here it is. Here we go. We'll do it this way. There we go. Now we can see it. The exercise pillar toward the left, vertical. And this is very intriguing. So look at all of those pillars on the screen. That's a lot. And look, exercise, that feeds health, doesn't it? Which also is related to happiness. Also, of course, living vibrantly. These are all interconnected. That's what I love about it. Attitude. Oh, yes, there's mindset. Productivity. That's a direct result of attitude and exercise and everything in here. Everything's intertwined. It's like a beautiful Venn diagram. For those of you that know what that means. I know that's getting a little geeky and mathy, but I love this. I love this that you've broken it down, and broken it out into very digestible categories. So this is phenomenal. And what I wanted to do is ask you, Karen, who are the people that you love to serve the most? Are they small business owners, entrepreneurs? Are they stay-at-home moms? What is your target market that you love to serve and help?
So the people that I've been coaching for years and years and years because of my business background and then my psychology background, and then my executive coaching, the people that I individually coach are business owners, top-level executives, or people who are trying to be business owners, people who are trying to be even more successful in business without having to work more. So a lot of my clients are working 80 and 90 hours. And one of the goals in working with them is to get them to be as successful or more successful, only working about 35 hours a week. And that's where all the productivity stuff comes in. But all of these pieces and parts of the 8 pillars are important. And not everybody can do individual coaching, which is why Live Vibrantly became something I was so passionate about, because everybody needs to know this stuff. If everybody knew, then they'd have the choice of, you have to be active. You have to do things. You can't just know about them and all of a sudden the magic occurs. But I really want, before I die, for as many people in the world to know what they have to do. I didn't know a lot of this stuff. And once I learned it, I thought, I wish I had always known it. So what I did, because I can't coach everybody individually, is create Living Vibrantly so that people can get all of the 8 pillars solidly in place in a year, because every Monday morning they can get in their inbox a video, a 1-minute video from me, and then text with steps that they can take that week. If they implement that week, if they do that for 52 weeks, they're now living vibrantly.
I love it. And yes, you can get a taste of that actually on her website. She has a little 1-minute.
Brian, look at you.
Yes, I'm ready for you. Look at that. So you can see right there, the counter, it says 105. So it's literally a minute. And she gives you, I love this one, working backwards, start with the end outcome and work backwards. That is, oh my gosh, that is such great advice. And Karen was saying before the show, that's how she opens every discussion with her clients every single time, is let's go to the end and work backward.
Yeah, what do you want to achieve today? Before we hang up the phone today, what do you want to be sure we achieve?
Love it. And so that is extremely valuable advice. And the reason I agree with that and know that is because this gentleman who I call my mentor taught the same thing. And I got to tell you, Karen, I used to go to all of these networking events, seminars, boot camps, you name it. I have so many of those lanyards with the badges, those that let you keep them. I mean, they would put Mr. T to shame, all his gold chains. It's just and the thing is, I just kept going and going and going, but I really didn't have a compelling outcome or, end in mind. and I'll never forget this, Karen. I was sitting at one, and it was a mutual friend who was running the whole thing. And I got a text from my mentor at that moment. He goes, "Hey man, what are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm at so-and-so's event." And all he had to do was type in a one word response. And I knew exactly what he meant. He said, "Why?" And he wasn't like saying that to say, "You shouldn't be there." He was asking, is it something, what was your outcome? Did you have an outcome? He didn't have to say any of those words. And I was like, wow, this guy's good.
And of course, you've seen Simon Sinek's TED Talk, right? Yeah.
Oh, I've read his book. I haven't seen his TED Talk.
Oh, you'd love it.
Yeah, I'm sure I would. Yeah, and so
that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, so it was great because it turned out my mentor lived very nearby. It was a 3-hour drive for me to get to this event. My mentor lived nearby, and he said, "Hey, instead of staying at that thing, why don't you come on over to my place? My dad just went deep sea fishing, and he's literally making fresh sushi for our family. We'd love to have you over." And I typed back, I said, "Next break, I will not be returning here." I'm getting right over, buddy. And it was great. And so, yeah, very important to have the outcome or start with the end in mind, as Karen says. And I think that's incredibly valuable. What's the word I'm looking for? Advice, because it can save you an incredible amount of time and money. Like in my case, it was a lot of time that day. I was like, it was going to go on for another 4 to 6 hours at least. And I really wasn't getting anywhere. I was listening. I wasn't networking at that moment. But I got to hang out with my mentor, who taught me more as I'm sitting there and we're eating dinner and we're driving around. It was have the outcome in mind before you embark on investing time or money or both. Always think, well, what do I want to get out of this? Like Karen said.
I actually have a one-page. I don't think we have this on the website yet, but I have a one page that I'd give to anyone. If you want to email me, I'll be happy to send it to you. It's one page beginning with the end in mind, so that you don't have to fill out books of every day, fill out all this stuff. It's one page. You know where you want to be by the end of the year, by the end of each quarter, and by the end of the month, and by every Friday. Wow. In order to get to the end of 2021 and achieve that, by this Friday, I have to do this, so that you know what you need to do today and Thursday and Friday. And one page. I had my very first entrepreneurial endeavor was a time management system company. Oh, it was laborious. It worked, but my goodness, it took so much time. And over the years, I boiled it down to one sheet of paper. Begin with the end in mind, be clear, be succinct, and get it done.
And I like that, because now it causes us to literally think about it and write it down. When you put pen to paper or even type it, it's better to write it. But if you put it down, you're more apt to remember it, and you're more apt to actually do whatever it is you're embarking on. So I love that it's actionable. It's not just, here's how to just read these words. No, it's, here's what you need to do for each segment, weekly, monthly, yearly. Tell what is your plan, and it makes you think. And I love that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that would be great. I wonder how many people that are watching would love to have that resource. I mean, Karen will give it to you if you ask for it. I just heard her say that.
Yes, so I will.
Put that in the comments. Say me, pick me, or yes, I want that. Anything to let her know. Show her some love. Give her something in return for this. Come on now. I like to have fun. Yes. Oh my goodness. And so you do this as one-on-one coaching now with what we're going through and kind of the lockdown situation, not really able to nuzzle up physically to anybody, especially where you and I live in the state. We live in California, one of the most locked down states in the nation. How are you coping with that, with working with your clients? Have you migrated over to doing online, like through Zoom? And, how are you pivoting if you needed to do that?
95% of my coaching work is on the phone anyway, even before COVID. I only have a small number of clients that I see face to face, which is kind of sad, but I've gotten used to it. But I have clients all over the country, actually all over, England, Canada. So most of it's on the phone. It hasn't been a change for me as much as it's been a change for my clients, because they've been struggling with having their kids at home and their work at home, and not having a division of time. That's been kind of tough. And also, one of the pillars of Live Vibrantly is connectedness. I don't think people understand the danger that we are in by not being able to stay connected physically and physically. I mean, one-on-one. And we don't understand or think about how often we touch people during the day. Touch them. Like if somebody's walking out your door, you might pat their back as they leave. We just down to the bare nitty gritty, we are mammals. And watch how dogs and other animals lay on top of each other. I mean, we need physical connection. We need to shake hands. We need to pat each other on the back. And so it'll be very lovely to get that again. And so there's different, since connectedness is one of the pillars, and you only get a slice of it every time 8 weeks rolls around to connectedness, there are a lot of tips in there about how you can stay connected with people and not starve yourself of that critical ingredient.
Love it. Love it. Bring that back. Bring us back. Yeah, connection. And that is something that's missing vitally at the moment, but it's pretty global at the moment. And yeah, I think there's a reason why we're hearing so many issues with people with mental problems that are going through this, because they're missing that and so many other things. But I love the fact that you were already prepared. Your business model was already set up. You had no idea this was coming, but it just turned out that you were already good to go. And
yeah, I even got COVID. I mean, I even was one of the people who got it. Yeah.
Yeah, and oh my gosh. So okay, you broke that seal. So I wanted to talk about that, because you were scheduled to be on this show some time ago, and you came down with COVID, and you just simply didn't have the energy. And I said, I don't care. The biggest thing I care about is your health.
You were so kind to me about that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's about how people react to different. I never get upset. Here's the thing. I've coached many kids sports, and if a young person is putting in all the effort they can and they just can't, make that basket, say it's basketball, I'm not going to get on them for that. I'm going to lift them up and say, great job. You put everything you had into it. Here's the thing. Life happens no matter what. And it's all about how you react to these situations. And for me, I look at the person. It's like, well, how, this is not fun for her. Why would I worry about, oh, boo-hoo, I don't get to, I have to go find somebody on my show. Yeah,
you were so gracious about it. You were absolutely so, it made me feel so good. Thank you, Brian.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
I couldn't even talk. I mean, I had so little energy. People would call me on the phone to ask how I was doing, and I'd go, can't talk. And that's about all I could get out.
My gosh. So Thank God you are okay and that you've recovered.
Oh, yeah. It never got into my respiratory system, and that was very fortunate.
Oh, it's just wonderful. I love success stories like this. And
part of it's attitude.
That I wholeheartedly agree with you. Totally.
Attitude produces chemicals. Negative attitudes produce chemicals that tear us down physically. Positive attitudes produce chemicals that build us up physically. It's not just woo-woo. It's not just, positive thinking. It's science.
Yes. Listen to her. Listen to her. She speaks the truth. And would you rather, here's what it comes down to, and tell me if you agree with this, Karen, but for each and every one of us, it comes down to one simple thing, and that is choice.
Yes.
You either choose to react negatively to everything that's going on in your life, whether it's good or bad, or you choose to take whatever circumstances are given to you and just react differently, like Karen has done, where she was in a bad space.
Ask yourself, what is the possible good outcome of this? And just start thinking about, well, what could be good? How could this be good? And if you start thinking that, you quit thinking about all the icky parts. At least it occupies your brain in a positive fashion.
Yeah. Yeah, I love to talk about one little quick exercise people can do. And this isn't, you don't have to suffer a tragedy to go through it. It's like, how many of you, including myself, have ever said, you know what? I have to go do the dishes now. Right? Who loves doing dishes? I don't know a person on the planet that does. And so that's a negative act to many of us. We have this negative feeling toward it. But rather than saying I have to, I tell people, be aware that you said that word have to, and reframe it into, well, I get to.
Words matter. Words really matter.
Yes. Amazing things happen, whether you think of them outwardly, like consciously. It's really the subconscious that's taking over. It's like, really? You get to? Why is that? Well, I guess you have dishes to wash, don't you? That's a blessing. You have a sink, apparently, or a dishwasher.
You have a kitchen.
And a kitchen, which means you have possibly a home or an apartment you're living in or a dorm room, whatever it happens to be. Just think of the blessings when you just changed one word. So I encourage everyone watching and listening to this to put that into practice. Anytime I have to go mow the lawn or I have to go shovel snow, which a lot of people unfortunately are doing right now. How about I get to? I have a shovel. I own one. That means I was able to pay for it, at least at one point. There's a lot of great things you can do with this. Mm-hmm. And this woman, she knows about it all. I think you should all connect with her. We're going to give you that detail here in a moment. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe we're already 10 minutes out.
Wow.
Well, that's if I decide that we're only 10 minutes out. But I want to talk more about live vibrantly and what do people, so when someone is a business owner and or let's say someone's just getting started, those are the perfect ones, I would say, that could use your assistance from the get-go. I wish I had known somebody like you when I first started, because
I wish I had.
Pardon?
I wish I had.
Yeah, because there would have been so much time not wasted, right? And that's one of the beautiful things about what Karen does, is what she will help you do is to get past the hurdles that almost everybody else on the planet goes through, because she's got the experience and know-how and been through it and proven that her service and her approach works to get you to the finish line, the outcome, the end, much quicker than if you were to just do it on your own. Mm-hmm. So let's face it, let's not do stuff on our own. Let's model success. Let's find people who know how to do it and grab on. This is not literally meant to be literal, but grab on to both ankles and don't let go. So go ahead and virtually grab onto Karen's ankles. Don't let go. Get connected with her and take the next step and just have a chat and see what the next steps might be. And she's got some gifts to give away here in a moment. This is phenomenal.
I just had a conversation with a client today and a business associate. We were talking about that everyone needs a coach. Coaches need coaches. I have a coach, because even if you coach the very same thing, you can't see it in yourself. You need an outside person because you're in it. You are enmeshed in it. You can't see the forest for the trees. You need an outside person to reveal what you already know, to pull it out of you. Yeah.
That is so true. I've had this same conversation twice in the last week. It is really? So true. It's like, I'll be talking to somebody who's got a business and they'll say, I'm struggling with this area. And I'll go, oh yeah, you just want to do X, Y, Z. And they're like, how did you do that? And I was like, I don't know, but I'll tell you one thing. If it's my own business, I can't get myself out of a paper bag. If I was put in one, I couldn't figure out how to get out. I don't know what it is, but I have this lock, and I can do far more for others than I can do for my own self.
Oh, yeah.
I just do into it.
Yeah. It's just the way it is.
And it's true. And so what you just said is gold. I hope everybody caught on to that, is get a coach. I wonder if there's any coaches available nearby right now that you could possibly connect with named Karen Duncum. I don't know. I'm just saying, maybe. I mean,
subtle, Brian.
Look at her. She is such a sweetheart. And I'll bet you though that when the rubber meets the road, when it's time to get you the results, she's going to be shrewd as necessary because she'll love you. And love isn't always like sweet and nurturing and lovey-dovey. It's about getting the results for you because she loves you.
Tough love too. You got tough love. Yeah.
There you go. And that's what we want are the results. And you know what? I remember going through speaker training. I would teach part of my mentor segments from his stage to his students, like 90-minute segments. And when I was done, I knew I was going to receive what they would call feedback. And I knew that feedback was not going to feel good. It never did from an ego standpoint. But after a couple of those sessions, after doing that, and then going up the next time and seeing the incredible improvement that resulted in, I later could not wait to get feedback. My ego was gone. The result was all I could see anymore. I was focusing on the result, and I loved it. I was like, do not tell me that was great and perfect. I need to know what I need to do to improve on. I don't want the soft, flowery, fluffy, sugar-coated, none of that. Give me the truth so I can improve. And they did because they love me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just the only way to go. And I know that's what Karen's going to do for you. Who wants that? Who wants that love? I do. Of course. And then after you're done, maybe visit her and go get some wine.
Oh, yeah. I'll take you on tours. I know the good places to eat, too.
I'll bet you do. Yeah. I love that whole area. It's just phenomenal. Wife and I we need to go back.
Yeah.
We need to go back. So in life, now and then, we go through these times where there's this F word. No, it's not that one. This F word that many people probably went to the wrong word, that a lot of people go through that can literally cripple them as far as going forward in life and in business. And that F word is fear. It's still a 4-letter word. But Karen, in your, I don't know, it doesn't have to be recent. What would you say has been your greatest fear up till now? And then how do you manage it and get over it and get past it?
Okay, so my greatest fear is pretty typical of most of ours if you get underneath all the layers. And that is that I'm not adequate or I'm not enough. And so over the years, of course, I've worked on that. And when it arises, all you really have to do after you've worked on it long enough, because there's certain things you have to take care of to get to this point. But what I do now, I have little reminders. I have one on my refrigerator. I have one in my bathroom, and they're little signs. You can actually buy them on Amazon. And it says, remember who you are. Because we forget how great we are. And we are all great. And we fall back into, at times, based on circumstances, things that make us think we're still inadequate and still not okay and still not enough or too much. But if we can go, wait a minute, it's all about in every pillar, it comes down to being able to stop and get conscious. What is happening right now inside of me? And if I can remember who I am, I can stand tall and the fear just goes away. It just diminishes.
I love how you just said that we are all great.
We are all great.
We need more people like you reminding us, and I'm sure that's what you do as a coach. And you brought to mind another gentleman that I was so blessed to have a show with, and I pulled his book out. It's the one and only Les Brown. And he always says this. He goes, "You have greatness in you." I love his buttery voice. I love to imitate it because it's just so smooth.
Yeah, and Maya Angelou's, if we can all recite that.
Yeah. And, to have someone that lifts you like that as a coach, as someone that, helps you to remember who you are, that look, we were all very divinely and uniquely created, and we all have our own unique talents, and we are all great, as Karen says. And that's a great reminder when you're ever feeling possibly inadequate or not enough, is to have those reminders. And oftentimes it does come from the outside, from outside of you, in the form of a Karen Duncum would be one. And then she could give you those resources on where to find these things on Amazon to give you the reminders as you walk through your home, and just start really pulling out the greatness in you. And because everyone does have it, and it's our duty. It's our duty to share it with others, because our greatness isn't always the same greatness as someone else's, and they could use the help in those areas. And that's where Karen.
I mean, if we all had the same greatness, we wouldn't have anyone to do these other things, right?
I think it'd be pretty darn boring, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, we're very fortunate and blessed to have all of this. Oh my goodness. Yes. So we've got Thomas Henderson. Nice overview. Enjoyed it greatly. Thank you for coming on, Thomas. Oh, yes. And Andy LaRusso, want to say thank you, Karen. You are doing your work well. Keep it up and stay healthy. Thank you so much. So appreciate that. You guys are amazing. I appreciate that. Wow, that's it. We're at the end. I didn't even realize that the 10 minutes is already gone. Actually, 8 of it. So it's time to soon reveal how those who have stayed with us live can win a 5-night stay at a 5-star luxury resort. Compliments of, I'm not pointing at Karen, I'm not being rude, the Big Insider Secrets. It's the big red logo up there you see if you're watching. And before I do that, though, Karen, I love to ask one final question of each guest. And I also have not forgotten you have gifts to give away as well. So stick with us. Don't go anywhere. We're not done yet. Far from it, actually, because this question could be worth the entire show. I'm not kidding. There have been some phenomenal answers to this. Yours will be no less, I know. And the beautiful thing is it gets a little personal, and it can be very powerful. And so, and don't worry, it's like the other one is painless. It's pain-free. And before we jump into that, though, let's do some giveaways, shall we?
Okay.
I'm going to do something different. I'm going to say this time, let's go ladies first. So you had a couple of things that you wanted to share with our wonderful viewers that you'd like to offer them as a gift or a giveaway. So I'll let you take it away as I bring your website back up.
Thank you. Okay, so I want to give one person, whoever wins this prize, a free coaching session so that you can see how I can help you achieve what you're trying to achieve. But then I also want to give 5 of you, however Brian figures out who the winners are, a 1-year free subscription that we sell on our website for $60 for the year. If you have the subscription, then you get everything that's on the website, all the resources, but mainly you get every Monday, you get what we call the Vibrant Minute, the Monday Morning Minute, which gives you one set of tools in each of the 8 pillars. And so we just rotate the 8 pillars. So in 52 weeks, you actually get to be a vibrant person or a more vibrant person. So I want to give those to 5 people.
Fantastic. Thank you so very much for that. So just drop in the comments, say, I want to win. Just drop it in the comments, say, I want to win. And then you will be entered to win one of those 5 spots. And look, I've watched, you can see a couple of them as an example on our website, the 1 minute. I completely forgot what you called it just a second ago.
Oh, it's the Monday Morning Minute.
Monday Morning Minutes. Thank you. And look, it's just a minute, and so it's digestible and it's powerful, and it's just 1 minute every single Monday, right?
And then we have articles. You're seeing now we have different articles and different resources on the website.
And look, Karen, oh my gosh, I was reading some of your articles, and you are a magnificent writer. You're so easy to read and engaging, and you have just a mastery of the written word, and I appreciate that because I often
have helpers. I have people who edit and help me.
There you go. Another great tip, everyone. She all the way to the end. She's dropping bombs and nuggets. I love it. More coaching. We have people commenting. Here we go. Yes, Marcel Hanisch. you are in. I will keep these comments up, and I will then send you the email address of Karen to, there we go, Thomas Henderson. Fantastic. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. We want everybody to be a winner. And speaking of that, one more before we ask Karen that one deep, very moving question. Remember, if you want to win a 5-night stay at a 5-star resort, then all you need to do, and we'll give you permission now to take your gaze away very temporarily from the screen and bring out your phone and pull up your messaging app. Why? Because that's how you enter to win. And I'll put that up on the screen. And so what you want to do is bring up your messaging app on your phone. And when you would go to text somebody, normally you would type in, say, their name. Instead of their name, in that same spot, type in this phone number. And that is 314-665-1767. Now, I would encourage you to write this down because we're going to move off of this really quick. So write this down, 314-665-1767. And then when you go to type in the message where you're going to send them off to whatever your status is, maybe an emoji or two, none of that, no emojis, just 2 words separated by a dash or a hyphen if you prefer. And those 2 words are peak, that's P-E-A-K, dash vacation, peak dash vacation. And that is how you enter. Then once you've texted that, keep your phone handy because there will be one more step for you, and that is to simply supply your email address. You will be asked, it will come to you automatically. And once you do that, you will then be officially entered to win. Don't worry, we don't spam. We don't do anything like that. It's solely for the purpose of delivering to the winner the big grand prize via email. So go ahead and do that right now. I can't wait to see those come flooding in. And as they do that, we're going to come back to the woman of the hour. So that contest, by the way, is good to the end of this evening. So write that down and now put your gaze back on this show because Karen's going to drop one more big one on everybody. And I mean a nice big one. When I say a big one, it's going to be a
What
great.
if I don't have an answer?
So here's the thing to this. You will have an answer, and that's number one. Number two is there is no such thing as a wrong answer. It does not exist. It's exactly the opposite. The only correct answer is yours. And it will come to you. And look, it doesn't have to be instant. It could take several moments. That's okay. Some take moments, some get it instant. Everyone's different. See, that's what makes it personal. That's it. There's no more personal to it. So you can relax and know that it's going to be fun. And it's going to be supremely powerful to everyone watching. I just know it because I've done this 136 times, I think, in the past. We've had quite a few shows.
Hey, Brian.
So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Let's make sure I'm ready. Here we go. Karen Duncum, how do you define success?
Oh, that's an easy one. Trying to figure out how to say this. To me, a successful person is one who has been able to shed all the conditioning of our society, of our teachers, of our parents, of our churches, shed all the conditioning and become who you truly are. Become your real, authentic self. Because if we can go back to when we were very first born and be that being without all the conditioning, that's where the gold is. That's where all the talents are. That's what we came into the world with. And if we can shed all of that other stuff, then whatever we do in life, we will be successful at. That's my answer. I can't hear you.
There we go. I got to turn my microphone back up. Here's the beautiful thing, Karen, about that, because I wanted everybody to hear you and nothing else going on behind the scenes. That's an important question that I get to ask. And I love it because time and time and time again, no two people, I've done 136 or so of these. I don't know. I'm around there. No two people have ever answered it the same exact way. Still, It's amazing to me. That's why it's so personal. Everyone's definition of success is actually different. Some are close to being similar, but they're never like right on the same. And the other really neat thing I've learned by asking this question of all of the people like you, because I bring on successful entrepreneurs, not just people that are just wannabes and just kicking the tires and not serious about it. Those that are successful, to a person, not one of them said that success was defined by the amount of money they made. That's telling. That just tells me that I'm in the right place with the right family. So you're part of the family now, Karen. Remember, you can't choose your family. Sorry, but you're now in it. And
I'm glad.
And me too. I love being part of this group of wonderful, amazing people like yourself because of the mindset that goes with it. It's about a serving attitude, about wanting to help others, I love it. Shed the conditioning so that you can be your true, authentic self, the one that you were designed to be. And she's saying that from love because she's been through it herself and learned how to break through and shed her conditioning. So then now she can help you to pull out your brilliance and your amazingness.
Well, really and truly, Live Vibrantly can give people health, happiness, and success. But being authentic, you can't help but be happy every day. If you're just being yourself, you're using all your innate tools and talents and skills. You can't help but be happy.
And the interesting thing I've found, and this is by myself going through and being inauthentic at times, fake it till you make it, is once you've really embraced yourself for who you are and you just go about things authentically, you'll find that in the business realm that your business just starts exploding. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like, I liken it to how dogs can sense fear. Humans can sense inauthenticity. Boy, that's a tough one. Inauthenticity. There we go. And so, the more authentic you are, the better you are. People want to know about your faults, your shortcomings, because that makes you more like them, and they can relate to you.
Everybody's so thirsty and hungry for it.
Pardon?
Everyone is so thirsty and hungry for authenticity.
Yeah.
Give me something real.
Exactly. No more phony baloney, as we used to say. Oh my goodness. Karen Duncum, amazing. Thank you so much for coming on. I know it was an ordeal to finally get here, and I'm so glad that this happened. You were amazing getting ready.
Thank you.
If I could, I'm not going to tell anybody about what this young woman went through to be on the show tonight was amazing. Nothing short of. And she did a phenomenal job getting ready and being here, being present for you, because it was all about you. It was all about you, the listener, the watcher. So I appreciate you. And that's it for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's a wrap.
Thank you for getting me on here. I loved being on here with you, Brian. It was great.
Thank you. And I get all the joy out of this. I love what I get to do because of you, Karen, and people like you. You're amazing. That's it. On behalf of the amazing Karen Duncum, I am the host of the Mind Body Business Show, Brian Kelly. And until next time, we'll see you once again. So long and be blessed, all. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to the Mind Body Business Show podcast at www.themindbodybusinessshow.com. My name is